So,
this is good. All right.
Today is afternoon. This afternoon is Afrobeat.
okay.
Classic FM 97.3, the station that plays every song you know. We are on air online, www.classic97.net. And, well, I've not put my usual African proverbs as we start the Sunday cruise, but I will. Facebook.com/Classic FM 97.3. Twitter, the handle Classic FM 973. And for the next hour and a half, you know, of course, it's the Universal Afrobeat Sessions. Hashtagging you Afrobeat on the Sunday cruise with AfroLogic. And Google Plus, it's gplus.to/Classic FM 97.3. And indeed, that guest that should have been here long ago came. He'll talk for a brief moment, but let me get myself together. I'm AfroLogic, you're welcome.
Complicated story. I mean, I first got into
Logic.
the African drumming thing in
So how you doing? Okay.
The place I went to was Ghana. When I finally
This is Ginger
arrived
Big.
in Nigeria,
This is the documentary.
and I thought that
You know, in that documentary, you had him play. You played for him there. Yes. Salt. He had a band called Salt.
Yeah,
Tunekwe
Bella
played.
Olija, you know.
Johnny also played for him. You know, Sente Shapara from Process played for him.
Come there.
Jamaica, and I said yes. We're primary
My African program.
and shook my hand and said,
No.
That's
Ginger
Ginger
Big
Big.
from Fela, Ginger Big. Okay. For the remix version. So, should we?
We'll just do 1 minute and then we'll go and record. It's just for me to tell them that, well, he's here and they should look forward to it next week.
Okay. This is number
4, 3, 4 and 3.
4, 3. Okay.
Yes, so it's
Classic FM 97.3. And as we extend and as we go back to the future and as we reconnect, it was supposed to be live, but it's still live. And then you'll get another opportunity as usual on next Sunday, the Discourse with Jimmy Disu, and of course on the blog. But just to give you a teaser and a taster, here we are live with the that's English, won't fail me. But the Mumu, the kingdom of Mumus.
The king of the kingdom of Mumu. Or the king of the Mumu kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's quite an honor. And for a Sunday afternoon, sunny, 316 LAGBAJA in the house. Please let them believe it's real.
LAGBAJA, Mupaba, Muko, Moya, the deputy servant of Jimmy Disu, who's the king, the chairman of the Mumus.
You know, Logic, just a point of correction. He came, I said he was coming for the recording.
Yeah.
We had somebody else on live. So we're going to record him. So you need to stay tuned next week. Tell all your friends, tell everybody. Here in diaspora, they're going to hear the full story of Mumuism. we're going to dissect this Mumu. You know, when I saw it on Facebook, when I saw his interaction with Ndibe, you know, I found it quite interesting. So I said, yes, we have to have him, you know, for the discourse. So, Logic, we're going to leave you here. We are going to go and record. Whatever we say, of course, you then have to hear next week, 2 to 3 on the discourse with Jimmy Disu.
In fact, we would have known.
You know, yeah.
No, but honestly, I think we should do, even after that, I think we should do a special discourse and the cruise, and then have him on live, crisscrossing both shows. Because there's a lot to talk about.
you have to pay me for that.
Who will pay who? Okay, we'll get somebody to pay all of us. That's the best thing.
But let's go record. Once I still have everything in my head.
Yeah. So once again, we'd like to thank you, LAGBAJA, for Just stepping in briefly, live, Classic FM 97.3, and like I said, hope you're going to step in very soon so we can do all this live.
Well, it's for me a big privilege to be here. I've always wanted to be here. And seeing that I have my people here makes it even a lot easier. So we should find time someday.
Yes, we should. We should. Talk about all things Afro and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
thank you very much.
We'll take our leave, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So it's the Sunday cruise with yours truly, Afrologic, and as usual, the first hour and a half, 3 to 4:30, the Universal Afrobeat sessions, and thereafter, 4:30 to 5:30, your jazz, Latin, and Nigerian jazz gems. 5 o'clock, Timeless in Time, 10 minutes of inspiration with Pastor Itua Igodalo, and the final.
What I did?
Your head broke it.
My head broken. Wow.
Well, we have to keep it.
Anyhow,
We manage it.
Okay, you're recording.
We're recording right now, boy.
No, you can't record.
We're not yet done. Oh, okay. That. We have to get the rope. Well, we want to see.
Well, we manage it one way or the other.
Well, I can't see.
It's even nice for you to know what LAGBAJA goes through.
Yeah.
You can't see your hair, okay. Now
Okay.
you must see. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see. With one eye.
You do it. And yet you must play your sax and you must sing.
okay.
And you mustn't fall off the stage. Okay. Is it getting better?
Yeah, it's good on.
Okay. So let's.
So, where did I put my glasses?
Well, you have to do
Well, your glasses are right here. Let me give them to you.
This will be fun. So, this will go like the making of the discourse.
If you're not comfortable, we'll take it off.
For doing
Yeah, of
this,
course, I'm sure about that.
you have to shout out to some people as well.
Get my camera. Where's Kazim? Come and take me some photographs.
There's your camera's here, I think.
Is
No, actually, he's not here.
No, it's with him.
Okay.
Passport.
Uncle, are there any shout outs that you want to do?
Well, this is another LAGBAJA. This is LAGBAJA's brother.
Let's
Okay. Kazim, bring my camera now. Come and take me some nice photographs to promote this thing properly.
Did he capture this on video?
You just go on. You just go on.
I got video, so. How did you come up with the idea of this?
You see me? You don't know.
This mask is a very
I asked for this one, so.
wow.
Now, let's try to make you a bit comfortable.
The concept itself, the mask.
Okay. Are you alive?
I'm alive.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you.
Yeah, let's take some photographs.
It's all right.
Good one.
Try and figure out who's real LAGBAJA.
This is really good. This is going to sound them wild. People are going to go crazy.
My face has to be in this recording, so people know.
Not tap on this recording, tap on this second.
Then let me take one, put my glasses. No, don't worry. This is just for these photo ops. Kazim, why you have to eat? You're taking it from the back. You think me lo yeah again?
No, I'm not taking it.
Take my hand.
That's all right.
Okay.
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 All right. Right. Look. Take this man. I can keep this as a souvenir.
Not yet.
Okay. Right, let's go.
Hope you guys are comfortable.
This is a bit warmer. Would you like a drink?
Water, do you have?
Let me just go with some water.
Or should I go quickly run and get it? Since you want to be doing this, or
No,
We can start. We can start.
we can start.
Okay. Let me just put this.
Actually, I've now become Tamedu. Okay, let's see.
Yep. Well, I have to speak again.
Yeah, this is JIMI DISU
Yeah,
with LAGBAJA.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Checking the level as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Now, this program will take about 45 minutes because in between we'll play music which we'll add on later.
Yeah.
You know, we'll just ask you for your favorite music and then we'll add in later. So we'll just do like 20 minutes, take a break, another, no, we'll do 15, take a break, 15, take a break, and then
Your phone on
we'll add the
silent.
music later. My phone's on silent, yeah. Okay, ready to go? Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
I'm fine here.
Good.
A bit louder.
How's your level? Or should I just move closer a little?
Move closer a little bit, yes.
Is that fine?
Yeah, it's fine. Perfect.
Let's go.
Ready to go? Yeah, you're welcome to the discourse this Sunday with JIMI DISU. Today is a special day. It's not usual that you'll be able to grab the guest that I have today. He's recording, I think he's recording in the midst of some recording or the other. And I had to plead with him to find time to come all the way from wherever he is here. And I don't know if he flew on a broomstick. I'm not too sure. But hey, everybody at home, I have with me LAGBAJA, How are you doing?
Thank you, my brother.
How are you doing?
I'm well.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you. It's nice to see you after so, you know, you haven't been playing at Motherland for a while.
Motherland, not for a while.
Yes, well, any reason for that? I'm just wondering.
In and out of town very frequently.
Okay, you have a lot of engagements.
Yeah.
Yes, but you still start playing regularly.
Probably in November, I hope.
Okay, you have the regular
I
gig.
think I'm going to be in town for sure November, December. So
December,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm hoping if I'm in town to do that.
Are you working on an album now?
I'm always working, not an album.
I know.
I don't think albums, I think songs. So I
Okay.
keep working on songs, and then when I think something to bring out, I might look for songs that work with the theme of
Okay.
the album, and
Okay.
then probably put in some other new songs and always record it.
Okay, so it's really, you know, some artists, you know, why I said album is to find that some artists, like they say that they're recording an album or whatever. So you just do songs, and then when you're ready, you know, you kind of put them together.
Yes.
Yes, okay. But actually, that didn't happen when you did the one with Abamieda. I'm sure that was something
No,
that
it's
you wanted
the
to do as a project. It's the same
yes.
thing.
No. That was a project on its own.
Okay.
Because it was like a shocking discovery.
It was ingenious, you know.
Well,
It was ingenious.
Thank
But
you.
maybe I should tell you that my best, one of your best that I like the most is So Far Away. You know, I love that. But all your recordings they're created by you. You write your own songs, you write the music and write the lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ingenious. Do you also do your videos? Do you write the themes for your videos too?
Most of the time.
I mean, I'm not saying it because you're here. I mean, those who know me know that rather than JIMI DISU say what it doesn't mean, he'll just keep his mouth shut. You know, but I think your videos are fantastic. In fact, I find your videos even more entertaining, so that sometimes it takes your mind away from, you enjoy the video as if you're watching a movie, as if you're watching something. And the messages in the video are very, very strong. Even in So Far Away, you know, where the change from Adire to this.
Exactly.
There's a lot of great. No. I think the
Exactly.
video I like the most is the one that had a cartoon strip.
Oh, Sumire.
Zulele. That was okay. Now the an interview with LAGBAJA, of course, will take 2-3 hours. I mean, so if I don't narrow down very quickly, I'm going to lose track of why I brought you here in the first instance. I read a piece on Sahara Reporters, an interaction between you and Dibe on Mumuism, and I found it quite interesting and quite apt for this moment. And I also found it nice, and it gave me some. I had a very good feeling that we still have musicians who have a feel of the political situation in this country at a time when you find some of our musicians interacting with governors, getting vehicles for their weddings and for people's money and so on and so forth. It's nice to find that we still have like the legacy that late Fela Kuti left behind, the legacy that people like Adeola Akinsoya on social issues, you know, the legacy of Hubert Ogunde, you know, these were people who made a lot of commentary on things that affect our lives on a daily basis. Now, well, I read that Mumu thing, very interesting, but for the benefit of our listeners, what exactly brought about this Mumuism or this Mumu culture that we have now?
Okay, first and foremost, let me advise that there's so much to talk about.
Okay.
You know, it took me a while to even find my time, you know, to come here.
Yes.
Your program might stretch over 2 programs.
No problem.
Let's just talk
okay.
because my motivation here is to see if I can reach out to people who are like-minded, people who still are thinking and who want change for this place.
Okay.
Mumu came about, believe me, after the shock of the last election.
I see. Which last election now?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was when I had this, I will call it revelation. It was like, this is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
What is happening here? In my mind, I think it was clear to me that people will be able to see, look at history, see what's going on, and think it is time for change.
Okay.
So it was like, when the votes came, and again, the same party in power that had been there for so many years without real concrete results, it was a shock to me that what's going on? Okay, but I kept quiet, keep watching. And I said, something is happening here. Now, when they voted for Jonathan, what I could see is they voted for somebody they loved.
Yeah, that is true.
The man was lovable from character, from his speech, from his courage. And that's
well, I'm not sure about speech. You know, he didn't debate.
At that time, he didn't debate, which was a bad thing.
Yes.
But I'm talking about from before he contested. I'm talking about what happened during Yaradua.
Oh, yes. A lot of people had sympathy for him.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Now, even not debating itself should have been enough reason not to vote for him. It showed that my people were mumus in their thinking. They just voted for somebody likable.
Yeah, without
they weren't thinking about what would this man do for me. That was shock number 1. Okay, I kept watching. Shock number 2 was April last year. And that's when I thought, man, I've got to make this album. April last year, on Channels TV, an interview with former Obasanjo, President Obasanjo. And the way he was talking, you could only speak like that when you are confident that the people you are speaking to are utter mumus who have no clue what's going on. I went into the studio. It took me like about 3 weeks to come up with that song. It's like a weeping heart. It's like, what's wrong with my people? First of all, you had a chance for change, you didn't use it. Now you are complaining. Subsidy, subsidy. What did you expect? You voted for the person who was a part of the same old, the same. What did you expect? And I thought the only thing I can see here is we must truly be mumus, because we had gone much farther ahead many years ago from the days of Awolowo. Now, how can you imagine that the nation that had gone that far ahead now is so far back that we just can't seem to get our act together? Take, for example, ordinary electricity. Ordinary.
Yeah, I mean, taken for granted in other countries.
Or even taken for granted many years ago. It was never
this bad, yes.
And then we've had promises and promises, and you heard about how many billions were spent during the Obasanjo's regime. Nothing. Promises, nothing. And yet, my people will go and vote again for the same,
people
who are not doing anything for them. And then last year, the man will come on TV and will, as they say in Yoruba, oh, bloody fool everybody. Bloody fully everybody. Who are you?
That's it wrong.
That was the history of my shock that, hey, man, I'm serious, Mumu. Jimmy, you are serious, Mumu.
Mumu, yeah.
Everybody, I just Mumu, just talking. These people know they will always get away with all they are doing because we are Mumu. So after that song was done, well, I just, like make my music, but it takes a while for deeper music to get across to people.
Yes.
Because
yes.
today it's all about, fun and, clubbing and dancing, and I mean, that's good, and nothing wrong with that. But then, DB now wrote a piece about 2-3 weeks ago now. It's like he was saying, aha, it's true. Myself, I can now see that LAGBAJA must be correct too. It'd be like saying we must be Mumu. So the piece he wrote was about what happened in the Rivers House of Assembly. Okay. And he said he was talking about stuff in the last 2 weeks or so. So if you note my piece, which I think is very important for people to note, all I wrote about was what happened in just a frame of just about 2 weeks.
2 weeks, I read it, yeah, about
now,
35 instances.
If that madness could happen in 2 weeks, then you can imagine how terrible a state we are in. That's the background.
Now, how terrible a state are we in? You tell me.
The most powerful thing is the mind. If you can't get your mind together, you are a joker. You have a head, I have a head, we sit here together, but we know different things. You might sleep and dream that you are eating in your sleep. Next thing you wake up, you're running around. Hey, I was chopping amala. I've been Now, I might sleep and dream that I was chopping amala, and wake up and say, what the heck? I must have eaten late before I slept. It's all in the mind. And when the mind is not emancipated, as Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, we're going to end up in all the struggle that we are in. And the biggest thing that scares me is that the most unenlightened Mumu has one equal vote that I have. So
or should have, really.
Well, he has one vote, I have one vote.
He has one vote.
So,
but he can manufacture others.
That is a different story.
It's a different story, okay.
Those are the Mumus on the top. But the guy on the street has one vote, I have one vote, but he's not really as informed as I am. How can I influence him to appreciate that when the opportunity comes, which is just around the corner next time, you've got to think about yourself.
About yourself, yes.
You've got to think, what do you want? Don't think in terms of the destiny and the story, a nice story of somebody who had no shoes, just like me, and then who could be president, and let him do second term.
Because he's a minority,
yes,
and all that, yeah.
I love those stories. They're all nice stories. But then don't complain when things are not happening for you. Don't complain when you have health issues and you have to beg on Facebook for money. Where will I find money if I'm ill now to go to Germany?
Or India.
But they've taken care of themselves. Their wives, their kids, themselves. The first thing, they are out of the country. The man who was battered in the Rivers House of Assembly was flown to London.
Immediately.
So you must think about yourself that, I mean, what do you want from life? How would you get your kids through school so their minds can be emancipated? How would you take care of your basic needs and not think in terms of the destiny of the other man who we want to write a nice story of so he has a second term? Are you going to be alive Through the second
To the
term.
second term. Where do you think, I mean, fine, you're painting a picture now of majority of Nigerians who don't think deep. And I agree with you completely. It's even was prevalent in our own industry, in the media, because of course, you know, both musicians and media, you know, we kind of set the tone,
Yeah.
you know. And so I'd like to know where we're at, but before we do that, this gentleman is giving us a signal already. We need to take a break. And I'd like to know, I won't ask you what kind of music you like, because obviously you would like your own music, definitely. So which of your tracks would you want us to play?
My tracks, LAGBAJA. Let's play one of those Mumu songs.
One of the Mumu songs. We got it, right? Yes, okay. So it's the Discourse with JIMI DISU. Listen to one of the Mumu songs. Now, when you listen to the song, don't dance. Listen to the message. Don't dance. Just listen to the message. Listen to the message behind the song. And then it will set the tone for the next discussion we're going to have, and we'll be right back. Break for you to listen to Mumu. Now, don't forget that you can listen to past copies, I keep thinking in terms of print. You can listen to past editions of the Discourse on my webpage, jimidisu.com, or classicflight7.net on the podcast. And also, you'll be able to see immediately after this show, we hope to upload the video so you can see how all this came about. It's, you know, for special ones like this, we do like the making of, you see how we all got ready and how everything came about. It's a bit hilarious, you'll enjoy it. So you can also see that on jimidisu.com. As soon as this show is over, we'll upload it within an hour. Now, LAGBAJA, how did we get to this point? Does it have anything to do with falling standards of education or poverty or what? How are we tricked into this situation?
Again, back to the mind.
Yes.
Mind. Another major point where, I mean, they're going to this part of Mumu, you know, just like you.
Yes.
I love Fela.
Yes.
And in my school days, Fela would come to school and give major symposium.
Yes.
And talk. It wasn't just about the music.
Yes.
Because, man, even the music, you go, they dance, they go.
Yeah.
When they dance, they go, we go to hear the message again.
No, the message again, yes.
Now say you go to hear. So the symposium would be like a serious forum to talk about issues, and you could tell how deeply informed this man was, and we learned quite a bit from him.
Yeah.
I probably even learned more from that stuff than even the music. One major point that Fela talked about at that time, that was leadership, especially military.
Yeah.
Okay? Then it dawned on me, it's been 14 years now since the military left. How much better are we in our corrupt practices, in all the madness all over the place? How much different are we or better than when we were there? So it's clear this was not an issue of the military. It was mostly to do with individuals.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've met a lot of great military people, soldiers, people who got into that profession with commitment.
Yeah.
But it's easy for us to generalize.
I'd say the military are bad.
It was individuals. Individuals who found themselves in positions of power and turned everything upside down. That was where the problem started. Now, when it got to the point where you found that there are no consequences for corruption, no consequences for your criminal act, it gradually got worse. It's a mind thing. A mind thing. If you're in a nation where they could kill the Attorney General,
yes, you know,
under a so-called democracy, that means worse is going to happen. Because, I mean, that is the top law enforcer for the nation.
for the nation, and he was killed, no clue at all.
So who are you, Jimmy? No, small thing. Come out your head, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Because to the people, the attitude is, no concern me. Oh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not my. It's not my. You know, my problem. Oh.
Olúwa ọ̀tọ̀ rí.
It's a mind thing. I want no more cotton, but I want.
Tọ́gbàrà wọ́n ṣe.
No, it's not about that. They say Yoruba.
I think that part of it has to do with some of us haven't detached ourselves from colonial minds. We've replaced the white masters with our own. You know, you have a situation, for example, somebody, the governor builds one tap for them somewhere, and the big Oba goes, oh,
Yeah.
we'd like to thank the governor for
Yeah.
building us the tap, we'd like to
Yeah.
thank him for giving us water.
Yeah.
Hey, that mindset,
Yeah,
you know, we perpetually want to be ruled.
exactly. That's the point. We don't think.
We perpetually
we-
want to be
We
ruled.
don't look for leaders.
No,
We look for rulers.
look for rulers.
That's the mentality. It's a
I
mind
mean,
thing.
look, I find that in 2013, let me give you a small symbolic example. A governor or whatever comes somewhere, there's somebody standing behind him, the man wants to sit down, somebody holds the chair for him, he keeps fidgeting, every time he stands up, this one is behind him,
No,
and so on and so forth.
it's even a bit worse than that. You can see the psychopath saying, he's coming. I have to run. I have to make a show of it.
Yeah.
I have to pull the chair.
I have to pull the
he
chair,
sits
yes.
down. I have to pull the chair back. You know, then I have to greet him with 2 hands.
Hands, yes.
I will hold my wrists. Then he will.
And then practically crawl on the floor.
Our culture is a culture of respect for elders, for leadership. But also in our culture, we have a culture of protest. When the leader is not performing in the olden days, they will give him calabash.
Yes, Loru,
Baba, come out your head and go.
and go.
Leave. We want a change. You had a group of elders who will form the council that will determine how things are going. People need to appreciate that they are human beings too. Yes, we must respect the leader. We must respect his position. We must respect the elder. But you're also a human being with rights. You're also a human being that has needs that can be met. The leader is supposed to be your servant. He's working on your behalf. So when a governor buys a jet, for example, have you thought about how silly that concept is? In the whole of the state, every state in Nigeria.
That's just one airport.
So where is he flying to? That means he's flying out of the state. So he's not governing his state. He's not sitting down there to govern his state. I understand if he had, like a chopper, helicopter to fly from local government to one, because he's governing the state. No, it's because he's going to Abuja, he's going abroad, he's going to Lagos, he's going.
For governors forum meetings.
He is not governing his state.
States.
But to the people, the mentality is that it is his own time.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if he doesn't, like loot some money and living like a big man, they don't respect him. Ganifa, when he knew, was known for standing by the masses. He spoke for them, he lived for them, he died for them. He went to prison. When he came up to contest, who voted for him? Because in the minds, it comes to the mind. In the minds of the people, he's not a big man. They want a big man, somebody who will rule over them. But this is Gani who will stand for you, who you can tell from his antecedents that he will do the best for the people. Nobody will vote for him.
Let me ask you. Do you think that our religious bodies too have a role to play?
For sure.
In our minds, in the mindset that we have now?
For sure. It's all about the mind. I keep saying that it's all about the mind.
Because
the religious conquer for it.
Yes.
That is the bottom line of spiritual. That is about you. That's about what is beyond you. It's all about the mind. As Fela said, anywhere the Christians, they now whose house is better pass?
The
bishop house is better pass. Anywhere the Muslims, they like the house of the Imam, like a big pass. That's the mentality. The spiritual aspect, the religion, many of them, it's only a few of them who are truly doing what you would call the work of God.
Work of God.
Most of them are doing work of their pockets. It's a business. It's a huge business. My brother, if today I want to start becoming a multi-billionaire, it's all about
Tax-free.
It's all about charisma.
Charisma.
How you speak, how you communicate.
It'll even be easier for you. All you need to do is just say, look, I'm not doing, and then you take off your mask. TBS will be full.
They have turned it into a business. And the people are not discerning enough to look at what is the difference. My brother, Christ, who we emulate as Christians, how many houses did Christ have? When it was time for Christ to ride the biggest Porsche of that time, the Benzes of that time, he had to go and borrow a donkey. We never heard about he had homes all over.
But where did all this stupidity come from? Where did all this matter? I know you say it's the mind, but what I'd like to know is, what did somebody or a group of people, did they engineer it deliberately?
Let me tell you the history. In Nigeria, I mean, it's a fairly new thing, like the 80s. Before that, it was a little bit more conservative, especially in Christendom. In Nigeria, it was a bit more, much more conservative. And you had this structured groups and conventions and conferences, even though many of them had the colonial affiliation. But then, when the Pentecostal movement started from especially America, and the Nigerian, pastors and bishops latched on, as a matter of fact, one of the first biggest preachers of prosperity was Bishop Idahosa. Now, there's nothing wrong about prosperity. We should prosper. I mean, there's nothing wrong about it. But that is not the essence of Christianity.
Or of life.
Of life itself.
Of life itself, yes.
Of life itself. It's important for us to...
And let me quickly add, I don't know if you'll agree with me, prosperity doesn't mean being rich.
At all.
It doesn't mean being rich.
At all.
It just means that in fact, for me, prosperity is to be at peace with yourself. Because when you're at peace with yourself, it means that all your needs, not your wants,
are met.
All your needs are met.
So when Bishop Idahosa came up with this prosperity thing, he never said you should leave your aspiration for salvation. He was just saying that you also as a Christian, you are not bound into poverty.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's what he was saying. But gradually, new pastors came in and found that, hey, this is a good way.
This is a cash cow.
Now, when my pastor is riding the 5 best cars and is telling me it's because, it is his legacy as a Christian. And all your tithes are going there. He is the sole signatory of the churches and he owns
the church. If he dies, his wife takes over.
He owns the church. It's his property. I mean, that should tell you that this is no longer the work of God. Because the work of God should have been, there are many other people in the church that will continue the work that's been done. And that's just about Christianity. In Islam, it's even a different story entirely. Because there's this attitude that people think in terms of, you own, I have nothing, I will give alms to you. And it's okay for you to collect alms from me.
Irrespective of the fact that the alms you are giving me is my money that you have stolen, by implication.
No, there's nothing wrong in giving alms. It's a good thing. That is what you are taught to do. But that doesn't mean that the other party should live in perpetual penury. Especially as you just said now, it is his money you are giving a share back.
Yes.
To him.
His government is usually public funds.
So every little excuse we have, we hide under religion. Look at all the story about, child
marriage and so
on. Then you start, quoting from religion, no longer thinking in terms of what is the bigger picture? People who are learned and who are scholars of Islam have come out to explain that you folks are misreading. That is not what the Prophet said.
The Prophet would never have said that you should fiddle with an underage child.
But people will always look for excuses to cover up all their own, wild ways. And you dare not talk. Oh, you talk, you are in trouble.
You're in trouble.
If you talk, if it comes to religion, that is the place not even to go. You're looking for trouble. Even the Christian fanatics will come at you. Because it's all about prosperity. Prosperity when if you fall sick, you can't pay your bills. You have to be running to India. Where was India when they built UCH?
Yes.
Many years ago.
Ruth. And maternity.
Please.
Well, like Fela says, second base, Jerry. Let's take another break. What would you like to listen to this time?
Well, you said Fela now.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe you should play that song that tells the people about anywhere the Christians.
Can we? The funny thing about that is also part of the problem. Why would you say that there are some Fela songs we can play and some Fela songs we can't play? Can we play that? We can. It's that's is that STB? Is that Sorrow, Tears and Blood? No, that's could that be Coffin?
Yeah, like Coffin.
It's Coffin.
Coffin
It's
for
Coffin.
head of state.
Coffin for head. Can we play that? Nah, you see, he's nodding his head. We can't play that.
Okay.
So let's think of another one. Which one?
Beast of No Nation, because it's not yapping you, it's yapping the international.
We can play Beast of No Nation.
But the thing when they talk they self, it affects us too.
What's that? What's he saying?
Sorrow, Tears and Blood.
Sorrow, Tears and Blood is also good. But with
Sorrow,
Tears and Blood, the regular.
I mean, that was his own travels. He was talking about that.
Okay.
That is why.
No, it was talking about the military in those days. When the right roughshod over everybody.
Me, in my mind, I think we should go out of thinking military.
Those
Our
they're in the
problems,
past.
no, they're not in the past.
Do you think they might? Do you think there's? If you don't get it right, is there a possibility?
No.
Okay.
We should never pray to see that happen again.
We don't pray, but
there's always some guy who will be thinking like that, but he will fail.
it will fail.
We've passed that level now. The issue is with individuals, not with the institution itself.
Yes.
Because, look, for me, Buhari, in spite of the fact that people talk what they don't know, is a different soldier from Babangida.
That is true.
It's about the individual, but people fear what they don't know. I'm not here to preach for anybody. I'm not doing politics, but I want to affect people's minds. They need to think deeper. So let's play the Beast of No Nation.
Yeah, we'll play Beast of
Egbeke. Because all of them, they form Egbeke. That's what they're doing now.
No,
they come together to chop the nation.
LAGBAJA, the one with sweet papers will not be player. Army arrangement. Okay, now it's the discourse with JIMI DISU. I still have LAGBAJA in the studio. We're having a rollicking time. We have LAGBAJA in the studio. We'll play Beast of No Nation and then we'll be right back. Yeah, okay, I think we can still do it in one. We'll just round up.
Yeah. NBC, I'm going to send letters.
Shape Beast of No Nation.
No, it's the first.
Coffee for head of state.
I'm at down alone. They should leave these things free. If the man fails his libel, let him go to court. What else? How can you say? That's why I want to confirm my friend NBC Bamileru during the week. Told him I do a program, front page news. Program member, Farayani. I get so angry. NBC, when show me the letter. Where's the letter? Oh, will the Bafin court terrorize me now? Where's the letter? Let them take me to court. Kidimoso. Yeah. All right, let's go. Last lap. Yeah, you are back to the discourse with JIMI DISU, and I still have, I'm having a good time here with my good friend LAGBAJA. And we talked a bit about Mumu. Let's. By the way, you know, there's somebody who will not forgive me if I don't ask why you know, one of our regular listeners, Mrs. Badela says, why do you always wear the mask? But you know, I wore one now.
The mask, for me, is a symbol.
Okay.
You know, people, you know, again, because of our thinking, the prejudice, the fear, people think, masquerade, there must be some occulty. No. It's a simple symbol.
Okay.
It stands for the facelessness of the so-called common man. So it's like, even if I don't sing, that image is so iconic in your mind that you think, why is he wearing the mask? And you should remember, it just stands for the fact that the common man, so-called common man, and by the way I say so-called because really, God didn't create anybody as common man.
Common man, yes.
You know, but we don't agree, say, I want to common man. A few people, the big men, they are not common. When they die, you go.
They will go 6 feet down.
Not be the same common.
Come
on. So it's about the facelessness and voicelessness. Because it's like, we just talk. They don't care.
But I think that it also helps your private life, which is one of the reasons why I do radio too. I mean, you can go about your business normally.
That's the second big advantage. And that's one reason why I wouldn't give it up easily.
Yes.
Even if you were to unmask me, I'll put back my mask, I'll keep going. Because you cannot imagine the freedom.
Yes, that you have.
Absolute freedom. You know, I know, like, I mean, we played yesterday, for example. When you show up, the whole place upside down. But then, as we leave here now, I come out the mask, we are going to a function. You enter and are smooth. Nobody knows you.
Nobody knows you.
There's that sense of freedom. It allows me to feel the pulse of the nation.
But it's quite ingenious, you know. You thought of this yourself?
Oh, yeah.
And also, people should do, it also helps the children. It helps them grow up in a normal, you know, you will agree with me that children of what we call stars are usually put under some kind of social pressure. I don't know if you've had a sense of that.
You're right, but I think sometimes the stars themselves cause the social pressure. Because if you're quiet, nobody comes at you. But it's your choice when you throw your kids on Instagram, on Facebook.
On Facebook, yes.
Everywhere. It's your choice. Then the kids start to live under that pressure. And it's a tough life for them.
Any of your kids play music?
I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I'll tell you the truth. I have discouraged him from making a career from music. Until he finishes school.
Oh, definitely.
Because it comes back again to the mind. You must learn. You must have knowledge. You must have wisdom, which comes over time. But after school, then if you want to spend your life, I mean, in fact, you don't even have to work with whatever degree you earn, because you can always change passions and you can always develop new interests after school. I will even support you. I'm teaching him some stuff already.
Okay.
Believe me, he's a little bit more talented than I am. But I think it's not just talent, I think it's exposure.
Exposure is much more exposed, yes.
They are growing up in an age where you have like 50 channels of television.
Yeah.
You grew up listening to, high quality music. You have laptops with software and plugins. You can make your own stuff on your iPad. It's a different world for them. So it helps their creativity. But I said, you finish school first. The only negative thing about that is that by the time you finish school, you're already like 20, 21. But it's not too late. After that, then you can, spend some 3-4 Yes, do your music if you wish.
Do you have the kind of worry that I have? You see, part of the problem of this Mumuism is also even reflected in our social day-to-day attitudes. This, and also by implication, our music. I find that every young man wants to go into the studio to blab and produce a CD. You understand what I'm saying now? You have all kinds of music, and generally it's all about bing, bing, bang, bang, bang. Nothing, you don't see, even if music is going to be instrumental, for God's sake, there must be some element of creativity in it. But does that bother you? You know?
No, not really. I'll tell you why it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
We need to look at music from different perspectives. If I would think about what I like about music, you won't hear 3/4 of what you hear on radio. But the truth is that what you hear on radio is also music by their own definition. It's a different generation, it's a different sound they're hearing. They are being influenced by equipment that's available to them today. The computers are making the music. That's why it all sounds the same.
It sounds the same, yeah. It's like eating fast food.
It's coming out of there, but it's still music. Because if you look at the history, every generation will scream about new music is not music. It's the older stuff,
yeah.
But it is also music.
I mean, I agree with you, but again, I mean, some of the new ones, you know, one quite appreciates.
It comes back to that same story about what happened in the churches. You find it's an easy way to make money. It doesn't cost you much. You just need a producer. You don't even need to know nothing about studio work. You need a producer. You just, in fact, again, you don't even need to sing. You don't need to come and say, Jimmy, me, disu, wow, disu. Something interesting, that's and that's catchy. And the producer does the work for you, puts the beats together, the same recycled beats, taken from somewhere. In fact, if you really want to go to the extreme, you don't even need to program the drums. You can just drag in a sample that's just looping. And you put stuff on it, and it's working. Hey, they have the right to do that because it's business. But then you can tell those who are serious about their music that they go a little bit further. They try to put some creativity into what they are doing, you know. But for me, it's all music. I mean, it's all. I love a lot of stuff I'm hearing.
They heard from the younger people.
Oh yeah. You know,
well, I read Miles Davis' autobiography, and he said that what kept him going was that he kept changing his band.
Oh yeah. He kept changing.
You do that too?
No, well, not just band. He kept changing the music.
The music, because he brought in younger people.
From the swing days to the bebop days, and then to the small combo, then to his Electric Miles days. And then he moved on to, even he was playing at some point what you would call hip-hop today. But with creativity, it was R&B.
I mean, when I hear is you heard Aura, the one that has the colors.
Oh yeah,
it's weird. But do you change your band often? I mean, well, not often, but it's still the same band.
The difference here is we live on live performances.
Okay.
So you have a steady band. In the US, most of the time, you bring your band together when you have a tour. So you could be a recording artist and just record, and then when you have a new work coming out, you come. And then you can assemble those you want. You audition new people. Which also helps really because it gives you a fresh feel. But here you have to be ready. They can call you in 24 hours. I've had to come from New York in 24 hours. So it means your band has to be ready.
But I think Sonny Ade has 2 or 3 bands. Sonny Ade has about 2 or 3 sets of instruments.
There's a core band.
And there's a core band, but he seems to have.
There's a core band.
He seems to be able to play almost parallel. He'll play overnight somewhere, and by 1 p.m. the next day he's playing. There's still a core band.
There's a core band, and that core band is very essential to getting your music right.
Okay.
We change people too. In fact, some people leave.
Of course, they will leave
and stuff like that. But I still have a core. I have guys who've been with me for, since it's like 12 years plus.
Well, your talking drummer, I'm sure, has been with you for quite.
Maybe that.
Yes, come to think of it.
We
Now,
go-
you know when
we go together.
when he came in, I kept saying to myself that I know this guy.
This guy is familiar.
I've seen him in the videos and things like that. Oh yes.
He's quiet until you give him the drum.
I did give him the drums. But you know, the talking drum is phenomenal. And believe you me, as we speak, to the best of my knowledge, the Europeans still don't know the technique behind it. Ginger Baker was the world's best drummer. When he came on tour, you know, there's a documentary. When he came on tour of Nigeria, they put a talking drum in his hands. He tried. I think the talking drum, actually, the drum beats first of all in your head. Somewhat.
It should be a thing of pride for us.
Yes.
That somebody in our culture from way back sat down and developed
It's
something
a talking drum.
that unique. When I started using talking drums in my band, you know, the young hip hop guys were like, oh boy, waiting. We say maybe if you want to call juju, we call juju. You want to play Fuji, you call Fuji. We say you want to hear and R&B and funky. But once the thing starts to beat, once it starts to sound, they go wild. It's a sound. But let me tell you something I'm doing, which I've already finished. And I'm hoping by next year, by God's grace, I'll bring it out. I want to help the young folks to appreciate our culture.
Okay.
So I spent about 4 years, you know, like June 4 years ago, I put together a body of work of Gogo. It's called it's called Africano Machine. Like man and machine coming together. So the same way you can drag your loops and drag your drum beats for hip hop or for rap, you can drag these drum grooves to work with. Any beat, any tempo is conformed already. You don't need to start cutting and editing, just drag and drop, see how it works. So you can play your gong from your keyboards the way you can play your kick and snare from keyboards, and you can create. Now, it will never be exactly like a live gong, but it will let you appreciate that there is something beautiful about your culture. There's something beautiful about you. You have a history. It's not all about what Oyibo people will do. We also have a history.
Now, usually towards Christmas time, there's usually like a new CD or whatever coming. I remember it was 2 years ago that Africano came out. So, Christmas period is a time people expect something new from. So, are we expecting anything new from you?
What we might expect is something called Bata Battalion.
Wow.
We might expect, because you know me, I change my mind all the time.
But you never launch your CDs though.
No,
we just.
Me, I don't have time for all that.
For that. I mean, when we say launching, not necessarily to raise money. But
look, the music will get out. I did Mumu. Most people didn't even know about Mumu. Mumu is already over 1 year ago.
It slipped into the market.
But then you will have an OKDB write something about it.
That is true.
You have a JIMI DISU say, hey, what is that talking about? Let's talk about it.
Exactly.
And then people will start to see, what's, you know, that's, you know, for me, I'm there for, by God's grace. If there's no death, if there's no India.
Well, back to Mumu before we go, what I'm sure you would have a very strong message for our people. Finally, just a strong message for our people.
People are talking some rubbish, saying violence, you got to go and fight, you got to go, we know you must be blood. They don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Violence is never the answer. It might be the last resort, but me, I can ask you, my brother, how many times have you fought in the last 2 years?
No, fought with who?
How many people have you killed in the last 2 years?
None.
So we should stop talking all this so-called violence. We need to use our minds. And the opportunity we have is coming right around the corner, 2015.
We should put on our thinking caps.
It is the simplest thing to do, your vote. Especially because you can see now that actually those votes count now. Maybe yes, there's still some rigging and everything, but if it's overwhelmingly clear who you voted for, we need to use our minds. we need to think about change. Not just talk. There is cause and effect. If you make a wrong choice, then you have to live by the effect of that choice.
For another 4 years.
For another 4 good years.
Minimum.
So that's my simple message.
Okay.
Let's not talk about, all the story about, we'll go out and fight for our right, The simplest way to start is to fight with your mind. Fight with your vote. Now, if they can't thief your vote, and then we go to court, and then thief the court, then we'll be thinking something else.
When we get to that bridge, we cross it.
We shouldn't be talking about violence as if it's a joke. And anyway, who will go out and lead the violence?
That's true.
When you hear pow, everybody scatter.
Okay, and maybe I should just put in a final word and just say to our people out there, don't be a mumu. Don't put a mumu in a position of authority. And don't put your life in the hands of a mumu or mumus. And on that note, it's been the discourse with Jimmy Disu. LAGBAJA, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate the fact that, honest to God, and in reality, you had to squeeze time to attend this, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to show my gratitude one of these days. It's been the discourse with Jimmy Disu. Like I said, the video of the making of this will be coming up, on my webpage, jimidisu.com. Should come up in another hour or two. It's the internet actually that have come up in 5 minutes, but you know the way the internet is. So if you come up, you'll be able to look at it. You see me, I wear a mask too.
Tabedu.
Okay, go out there and have a lovely week, and we'll see you again next Sunday. Bye. Yeah, like, well, beautiful. Thank you.